Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 202 based on novel. So let's start. Undyings usually had to do risky missions in order to earn large amounts of wealth. For many normal Undyings, with lifespans over hundreds of millions of years, their wealth could range up to 10,000 mixed elements. On average, they wouldn't even earn one mixed element every 10,000 years. This was also why the Undyings would rather use their universe ships to travel about and not use their god country teleportation. Even the Emperor-level Undyings were used to using universe ships. Because the amount of wealth used for the god country transfer was simply too shocking. And to these Undyings, using a few years to travel didn't mean anything. They would simply immerse themselves in their law studies, and when they finally opened their eyes, a few years would have already passed. Your Majesty, that's unnecessary. Dylan said. No, I insist. The only reason we could reach Jade Dome planet this quickly was because of the God Country transfer. And the God Country transfer uses so much resources, how can I let you foot the entire bill? Luo Feng laughed. Looking at the distant beautiful planet in the space, Jade Dome planet's color is very similar to my home. Your Majesty's home? Dylan looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng nodded. Earth, it had already been over 200 years since he returned. When the F-grade universe ship drew close to Jade Dome planet's atmosphere, Luo Feng and the entire group of guards all hustled as they flew out of the cabin door. Who? Dylan waved and the F-grade universe ship vanished from mid-air. Let's go to Jade Dome planet. Luo Feng ordered, yes, Your Majesty. An Undying, 10 sector lords, 100 domain lords and 1,000 universe-level soldiers, the guard team immediately replied in unison and immediately surrounded Luo Feng, becoming a beautiful beam of light flying towards the planet. They swiftly broke through the atmosphere and entered. In an instant, Luo Feng could see the incredibly majestic ancient city. The many ancient cities, from above, didn't seem technological at all, Your Majesty, as the center of 1,000 star fields. One of the 9 Ganwu Universe countries' first-class administrative planets, countless sector lord families and even Undying families have sections here. Dylan looked down below at the ancient city towards which they were drawing closer. Hence, the strong are numerous like the clouds on Jade Dome planet. Even sector lord warriors have to remain low profile. Luo Feng nodded. There were so many Undyings on Ganwu Universe country. Hence, there would probably be many of them on Jade Dome planet as well. Let's enter the city. Luo Feng ordered, yes. Under Luo Feng's leadership, this team of over 1,000 immediately landed and entered the city. Jade Dome planet, the management of this Xiong Shui city was strict amongst the 108 cities. Even the disciples from big families or sector lords from other star fields had to follow the rules. From the moment they entered the city, they were forbidden from flying and landing within. Those that dared to do so were definitely the upper echelons of the Ganwu Universe country. And within this city, flying was forbidden too. Look, that group of people actually flew in. Within a wide pathway that was a few hundred meters long, their appearances were all varied. The high-status residents of Jade Dome planet all looked up with shock as they saw the black blur of the group landing from above. That group almost looked like a black cloud descending, especially the world energies that they emitted. Some burning while others ice-cold, or heavy like mountains. The energy that the 10 sector lords naturally emitted shocked the people below. Even though it wasn't rare to see sector lords in Jade Dome planet, they were still powerful and respected beings. After all, the higher-up Undyings were too lazy to show themselves and only appeared once every 10,000 years or so. Hence, the sector lords were the strongest the residents here normally saw. 10 sector lords. And all recognized by their laws? Even in an entire star field, it was hard to get 10 sector lords all recognized by their laws. Let's go. Luo Feng ordered and the group swiftly became a blur and left. Who are those people? 10 sector lords. Where's he from? The many residents in the streets all exchanged glances, as they were completely shocked. Any single sector lord was enough to build a strong family here, and 10 of them were actually following one person, that silver-armored black-haired youth. Is he an important core member of one of the 300 emperor official families? He would have to be the most pampered one too. Otherwise, how would he get 10 sector lords to follow him? I'm sure I didn't see wrongly before. Among the over 1,000 people, the weakest were universe levels. The many residents in the streets all discussed. They all thought Luo Feng should be one of the most important core members of the pinnacle families in the Ganwu Universe country. Otherwise, his entourage wouldn't be so huge. Even in the first-class administrative planet Jade Dome Planet, it was rare to see such a scene. Luo Feng and his big group entered a particular Xiangshui city's luxurious villa. It was called Swallow Mountain Villa. The costs here in Xiangshui City are really high. Just a villa like this, my purchase in the virtual universe network costs 2 billion universe dollars. Luo Feng laughed and said, buying a small galaxy would only cost about 100 billion universe dollars. Those without capital really cannot buy a large villa here on this planet. Ha ha, it is rather expensive. However, to your majesty, this shouldn't mean anything. If your majesty decides to go public, the Ganwu universe country has long prepared everything for you. There's no need for you to buy this villa. I like to remain low profile, understand? The 10-sector lord smiled and agreed. Luo Feng smiled and nodded as he ordered, all right, this villa will be our living quarters on Jade Dome Planet. Dylan, follow me out, the rest can stay here for a while. Yes, your majesty. Over 1,000 guards all replied. Luo Feng nodded. Let's go, Dylan. Luo Feng headed out. Follow me to the Universe Galaxy Bank. Yes. Dylan nodded. Every one of the 108 cities in Jade Dome Planet had a Universe Galaxy Bank. After all, those living on this planet were extremely wealthy and people with status. Even the most normal living quarters on the planet was enough to buy an entire life planet in a few galaxies. The royalty of those basic-level civilizations put here would be considered lower class. For the Universe Galaxy Bank to build 108 buildings here wasn't strange at all. Universe Galaxy Bank. Luo Feng looked at the distant huge silver skyscraper. The very artistic construct was surrounded by kilometers of grass fields about. On it many people from other star fields could be seen discussing, I wonder how much money there is in the account teacher left me. Luo Feng thought. After all, teacher had spent a huge amount on the Yunmo planet ship and the cloud contact vine. However, for his level of power, an official level of undying, his wealth should be plenty. While he thought within, Luo Feng continued to head forward, quickly reaching the main entrance of the silver skyscraper with Dylan. Respected guest, the Universe Galaxy Bank welcomes you. A robot standing beside the entrance said respectfully. That voice was infused with a simple soul effect, making those that hear it feel incredibly comforted. Within the huge hall, a group was sitting. They all took turns to head to the reception to go about their business. Luo Feng and Dylan stood there silently. The bank's AI system scanned Luo Feng and Dylan. According to their life energies, it swiftly confirmed their identities. As one of the 5 leviathans of humanity, the Universe Galaxy Bank had within its database the information of life energies for the Primal Region member Luo Feng and the undying Dylan. Luo Feng and Dylan had extremely high statuses. Even the department chief of this branch didn't have the authority to assist them here. Will the two of you please follow me? A beautiful green-cloaked lady walked out of the reception desk from the side and said respectfully to Luo Feng and Dylan. Luo Feng and Dylan followed that green-cloaked lady and sat on the cloud elevator, quickly reaching the bank's 9th-level hall. 2 guests. The lady smiled and said, as both of your statuses are extremely high, there's no one here in our branch with enough authority to assist you. Hence, you two can only interact with our Galaxy Bank's AI system. Luo Feng and Dylan nodded. This was in consideration of secrecy and privacy. The higher one's status was, the more certain exchanges had to remain secret. Dylan, you can stay here, I'll enter. Luo Feng said. Yes. Dylan nodded. The glass door of the large hall automatically opened and Luo Feng entered, and that door closed automatically behind him. Even though it was a simple glass door, however, whether it was spirit energy or genetic energy etc., none of their scanning signals had the ability to penetrate this special glass. Within the glass door. Respected guest, how do you do? An incredibly beautiful lady with a red furry tail slightly bowed. How do you do? I'm here to retrieve money. Luo Feng nodded. With one look he could instantly tell this lady was actually a robot, only it had a layer of skin on its outside. Please enter your account number. The robot lady smiled. 8492, 8593, WOX, 8528, 5285, 032. Luo Feng swiftly reported. I need to check your spirit energy. The robot lady extended her right hand. Please raise your spirit energy to sweep my right hand. Luo Feng nodded. A thread of spirit energy swiftly swept across the right hand of the lady. as his teacher's inheritance had to be collected by a disciple of the Unmo planet, hence this spirit energy scan was incredibly important. The scan is compatible, please enter the 3-layer 4-wave code. The lady continued. Luo Feng swiftly entered the incredibly complex codes and simultaneously stared at the lady in the screen before him. Passcode accepted. The lady smiled. Luo Feng ordered, balance check. At this time, Luo Feng was incredibly nervous. The account that his teacher left for him, just how much was in it? The screen flashed and numbers appeared, balance, 3,122,810 mixed elements. Looking at the balance, Luo Feng couldn't help but smile. His teacher Hu Yangbo had indeed left for him an incredibly large amount of wealth, a total of about 3.12 million mixed elements. What a terrifying level of wealth, enough to buy a few star fields. Of course, now that Luo Feng's level of status was different, he was excited but not mad at this level of wealth. As Luo Feng had on him the Unmo planet ship, close to 10,000 Blood River crystals, Flame Void gold, the 100 purple net leaf, and the Luo Fuqi board, these were all treasures that were worth up to 1 million mixed elements. Of course, these were items that he couldn't bear to sell and couldn't be exchanged for with cash. Hence, even the 8 mixed elements that were used for the God Country transfer, Luo Feng couldn't fork out at the time. And the reason he couldn't retrieve it was because part of his money was invested in the Ping Hai Company. Secondly, it was because the other part of it was used to buy the required metals for the Golden Horned Beast to evolve. Having cash truly feels different. Luo Feng looked at the balance on the screen and smiled. Over 3 million mixed elements in cash. Whether it's fixing the Unmo planet ship or letting the Cloud Contact Vine evolve to Sector Lord level, there shouldn't be any problem anymore. Transfer. Luo Feng ordered, transfer all to the account linked to my spirit energy imprint. All right. The robot lady smiled and nodded. Transfer was successful, Mr. Luo Feng. The robot lady smiled. There's another linked account in here with 3 mixed elements. Will you transfer that to linked account? Luo Feng was stunned. Right. His teacher had died on Earth back then. Before he died, he swiftly set up the bank accounts via the virtual universe network, with 2 linked accounts. One for the star level and another for the universe level. And the domain lord level was the time when one could retrieve the rest of everything. There's actually another 3 mixed elements. Luo Feng exclaimed. His teacher was truly generous. 10 billion Ganwu dollars for the star level account, that was akin to a universe level warrior's wealth. 3 mixed elements in the universe level account, that was akin to a normal sector lord's wealth. 3.12 million mixed elements for the domain lord account, that was the rest of his teacher's wealth. Transfer. Luo Feng nodded, all right. The robot lady swiftly transferred and placed everything within the account linked to Luo Feng's spirit energy. This spirit energy imprint account was the safest of accounts, even in the vast universe. As long as a life form had a spirit energy imprint, there was no other life form with the same imprint. The glass door opened and Luo Feng walked out. Your Majesty. Dylan looked at Luo Feng. I just transferred 8 mixed elements to your account. Did you receive it? Luo Feng looked at Dylan. I've received it. Dylan nodded and felt somewhat helpless within. Dylan, he was the highest level of guard captains. His true battle ability was close or even comparable to an official level undying, and his wealth was definitely plenty. Even though it was still a little pinch having to spend 8 mixed elements for the transfer. However, Luo Feng was after all his ancestor's disciple, spending a little for him was worth it. From his perspective. Even though Luo Feng's status was higher than his, he was after all still only a domain lord level genius. How much wealth could he have? Could it compare to an undying like himself? However, Luo Feng insisted on returning the funds. Naturally he couldn't reject it. This Luo Feng truly has backbone, he doesn't easily owe others favors. Dylan thought, let's go back. Luo Feng smiled. After receiving over 3 million mixed elements cash, Luo Feng's mood was exceptionally good. Yes, Your Majesty. Dylan followed Luo Feng and they left the Universe Galaxy Bank, returning to his newly bought Swallow Mountain Villa. Swallow Mountain Villa, within a resting room, Luo Feng sat cross-legged, a thread of consciousness swiftly connected to the Virtual Universe Network. Virtual Universe Yuxiong Mountain, Primal Region, Luo Feng's Villa. Within the study. Ha ha, Luo Feng. Your teacher left you quite a bit right. Barbata shouted on his shoulder. Luo Feng sat before his laptop and opened a mail on the screen. It was from the Universe Galaxy Bank, The details were congratulating Luophone on becoming a Universe Galaxy Bank 4-star client. 4-star client? Luophone looked at the mail and laughed. Barbata, I remember the requirement for a 3-star client was 10 mixed elements. This mail says that the requirement for a 4-star client is 10k mixed elements. What about a 5-star? The 5-star client requirement is 10 million mixed elements. Barbata laughed. Even your teacher, he only exceeded that amount when he had the most money. However, after that he spent 6.2 million on the Cloud Contact Vine and luckily helped it break through to Undying. With the Undying level Cloud Contact Vine accompanying your teacher, the two combined, even an official level Undying would find it extremely hard to kill him. It was a pity he met with an Undying almost Emperor level and also proficient in soul techniques. Luophone nodded. 10,000 mixed elements allowed one to be a 4-star client. But it took 10 million to become a 5-star. His own bank account only had over 3 million mixed elements. Naturally he was considered a 4-star client. However, Luophone, normal Undying's wealth usually lies around the 10,000 mixed elements range. Barbata said. The weaker and poorer Undyings don't even have up to 1,000 mixed elements. And the official level Undyings, normally their wealth is only about 10 million mixed elements. And I'm referring to all their wealth, not cash. Luophone nodded. The strong would have long turned their wealth into strength, like his teacher Hu Yangbo spending huge amounts of his cash on the Cloud Contact Vine. When it reached Undying level, it gave him an extremely powerful assistant. It was a pity, this combo still fell in the end. My wealth all added together should be about 10 million mixed elements. Luophone thought, Flame Void Gold, Purple 100 Net Leaf, Luofu Chi Board, the three added together should be about 5 million mixed elements. The Yunmo planet ship should be worth about over 3 million mixed elements. Of course, the most valuable of the lot, Blood River Crystals. He had close to 10,000 Blood River Crystals. Simply exchanging them with the Virtual Universe Company would get him up to 1 million points. And as they were extremely valuable, with the Virtual Universe Company monopolizing them, the true worth of the Blood River Crystals definitely exceeded the 1 million points. Hence, they were his most prized possessions, my teacher's wealth. Plus the encounters I've had over my missions, they actually add up so much to my wealth. Luophone exclaimed as he thought. Of course, compared to my other teacher True Yang Emperor, my wealth doesn't even mean anything. True Yang could easily throw out up to 1 million mixed elements. Different positions, naturally their wealths were different. An Emperor level Undying was much stronger than an official level Undying. And the most pinnacle of Emperor levels, True Yang Emperor who was close to becoming a universe country leader. His wealth was naturally even more shocking. However, as a teacher, he had a large amount of disciples, he would only occasionally help out a little. He couldn't simply hand over his wealth to any particular one. Unless it was like Hu Yangbo, whose successors all died, finally having to pass it to the only disciple from another generation, Luophone. Luophone sat at his desk and swiftly tapped through the screen of his laptop, buying a few valuable items that would help his Cloud Contact Vine break through to the Sector Lord level. To buy items in the virtual universe, he could use his points to exchange or use his cash. For example, when he bought the metals for the Golden Horned Beast earlier, they were all paid for in cash. Luophone looked shocked at the screen. On it, 3 choices appeared, to evolve a Cloud Contact Vine from Domain Lord level 9 to Sector Lord. 01, Normal Evolution, time required 3 years, requires 11,800 mixed elements 2. Normal Evolution, time required 1 month, 19,200 mixed elements required 03. Super Evolution, time required 3 to 6 months, priced at 32,000 mixed elements, 56,000 mixed elements and 85,000 mixed elements. Super Evolution? Luophone frowned. He gently opened the 3 choices and their detailed information. The different paths of evolution for the Cloud Contact Vine had great differences in its power. From the number of vines one could deduce the level of evolution. Sector Lord Cloud Contact Vine, its minimum could have 36 vines, this was with the weakest evolution. The highest it could have was 360, this could be achieved with the best nurturing. My Cloud Contact Vine is currently Domain Lord level 9, with 108 vines. Luophone looked at the Super Evolution information. It was split into 3 combinations of valuable items. The prices ranged from 32,000 to 85,000 mixed elements. According to the calculations, if I use the best option of the Super Evolution, my Cloud Contact Vine should be able to reach 216 vines. Luophone frowned as he looked. His cloud contact vine could at most reach 216 vines. Barbata, what's going on? Luo Feng frowned. For a Sector Lord cloud contact vine to have 360 vines, that's the legendary peak of evolution limits. Barbata said casually, from day one, the nurturing would be incredibly expensive. For it to reach Sector Lord level, one would have to use close to 1 million mixed elements. Close to 1 million mixed elements, teacher had that kind of money right. Luo Feng pondered. Also. Barbata snorted. The higher the level of evolution of the vine, the harder it would be for it to break through to undying level. Your teacher's vine back then only had 108 vines at the Sector Lord level, but it still took 6.2 million mixed elements for it to by chance and with a bit of luck break through to the undying level. As for the perfect form cloud contact vine, the more perfect it is, the more the universe is jealous of it. For it to become undying is truly too hard. Luo Feng nodded. However, Luo Feng, with your resources, circumstances, background, and the future prospects, you will be much stronger than your lone wolf teacher. You can pick the best super evolution now. Barbata said, Sector Lord level, to evolve to have 216 vines, it may be very hard to break through to undying level in the future, but with you around, maybe it can still succeed. Luo Feng didn't hesitate, gently tapping and choosing the best super evolution option with the combination of items. Facing the future, Luo Feng was filled with confidence. If he didn't become undying, so be it, but should he actually break through, he aimed to be an absolute warrior amongst them. At least an official level, and later on an emperor level. Hence he required the best assisting cloud contact vine that needed to be just as strong, 85,000 mixed elements, gone like that. Luo Feng shook his head and laughed, I'll let the Virtual Universe Company help in repairing the Umo planet ship. Luo Feng, I recommend you to not only repair the ship, but also let the Virtual Universe Company's staff alter and improve the ship's internal parts to raise its performance. In terms of technology, the Virtual Universe Company is humanity's strongest. If they improve the ship, its performance will definitely be intrepid. Your Majesty Luo Feng, please collect all your required detailed parameters, pictures and information etc., and the performance specifications level of which you wish for your ship to hit. Once done, send them all to us. The more detailed the information is the better. We will be able to determine the upgrades according to the situation and your wishes, testing what requires upgrading and fixing and their costs. The gentle, clean voice resounded from the screen, okay. Luo Feng nodded. He immediately sent over the information Barbata had prepared long ago to them. After a while, Your Majesty Luo Feng, our virtual universe construct can help an F-grade universe ship reach up to 50 times light speed. Its skills are extremely developed. I advise that Your Majesty also picks the limit of 50 times light speed and performance. If you ask for anything higher, then the upgrade fee will jump exponentially. And usually the quality-price ratio of the normal upgrades are the highest. The voice resounded, what about the nimbleness and movement capabilities? Luo Feng asked, same rules apply. The crisp voice was obviously very respectful. Your Majesty, the repairs will require 56,000 mixed elements, and the internal modifications will require 124,000 mixed elements, for a total of 180,000 mixed elements. Luo Feng nodded. Barbata had calculated before. If he were to purchase the materials outside and let the Virtual Universe Company people fix it, just the materials alone would require 80,000 mixed elements. Luckily, he was a Primal Region member and had great discounts. Your Majesty, our design people here are asking, that F-grade universe ship is completely constructed from hybrid copper essence. The sides are very thin and sharp, and they have solid engravings on them, with very powerful slicing power. However, the origin lore engravings are simple and not complete. Would you want to improve on them? The voice said. Luo Feng was stunned. The Yunmo planet ship was a triangular ship, its sides were incomparably sharp, however what was that about origin lore engravings? Just agree. Barbata said on his shoulder. Improving the engravings, how much would it cost? Luo Feng asked. If it's a simple repair of the engravings, this can be done for free. The clean voice continued. But to completely improve it, allowing this ship's defense to rise by 30%, and its slicing attack force to rise by 50%, that would require 139,000 mixed elements. I agree to the improvement. Luo Feng nodded. The cloud contact vine alone used up 85,000 mixed elements. The Yunmo planet ship used up 319,000 mixed elements, for a total of 404,000 mixed elements, over 400,000 mixed elements gone just like that. Luo Feng sat at his desk and looked at his screen. Spending money is really like flowing water, right, Barbata? What's going on with those engravings? Why do they require 139,000 mixed elements? Don't be stingy. Barbata snorted on his shoulder. Those solid law engravings are actually similar to a lot of the engravings on spirit weapons and genetic weapons. Through connecting with the origin laws, it triggers the universe law energies, using it to strengthen defense and offense. The master back then already spent a lot of energy into building this ship. He also got a very powerful warrior to engrave those origin laws there. A pity, the warrior master got, naturally cannot compare to the masters within the virtual universe company. Barbata exclaimed. To be able to raise from the original defense by 30% and attack by 50%, the origin law engraver masters of the virtual universe company are indeed powerful. These are origin law engravings that would raise the entire capabilities of the huge universe ship. Just the materials alone would be extremely expensive, 139,000 mixed elements, if it were the warrior that your teacher got back then, it would at least be twice the amount. With the virtual universe company supporting you from behind, it is indeed much more convenient. Luo Feng laughed. It was convenient, the amount spent was however just as extravagant. Jade Dome Planet Xiangshui City, Swallow Mountain Villa. Within an underground warehouse. Luo Feng had spent $12 billion universe dollars to buy the villa. One could imagine just how huge this place was. The entire villa was about 30 kilometers long and wide, and just the construction of the underground warehouse alone reached 3 kilometers. This was specially made for the big families and powers to store their universe ships, completely hybrid copper essence. The three white-robed staff stood in the warehouse and looked at the triangular universe ship. The ship's three edges formed an arcade line, which was incredibly sharp. When this ship accelerates, even a planet would be easily sliced apart. The leading white-robed old man smiled at Luo Feng and said respectfully, "Your Majesty Luo Feng will be taking this ship away. When will it be repaired and returned?" Luo Feng asked. The three of them were all sent by the Virtual Universe Company. As Jade Dome Planet was an incredibly important planet in the Gunwu Universe country, hence on the planet. The company had many important members here. After Luo Feng's conversation through the network, the company immediately sent people on the same day to take the ship. "Your Majesty, we have many repair and construction facilities all over humanity's territories. Hence, it'll only take us no more than 3 months to get it back to you," the white-robed old man said. Luo Feng nodded. "Go on." "Yes." The white-robed old man looked at the Yunmo planet ship. With a thought he placed it in his internal world. This entire exchange process was synchronized and transmitted to the virtual universe network. As long as it was done, Luo Feng had no need to worry about the safety of the ship. If the transporters were greedy and daring enough to steal the ship and escape into the universe, then, the Virtual Universe Company would immediately repay Luo Feng with another similar appearance ship with even better performance capabilities. He watched as the three white-robed staff sat in their ship and left. Then he turned to Dylan on by his side. "Dylan, let's go meet with my big brother." "Yes, Your Majesty." Dylan nodded. As the head of his guard team, Dylan was always protecting Luo Feng during his deployment. Of course, as an Undying, half of Dylan's consciousness was within the Virtual Universe Network studying. He only required a part of it in reality to reach the maximum level of security. The moment danger occurred, Dylan's other half of his consciousness would immediately return to reality. "Big brother." Luo Feng's eyes were filled with anticipation as he walked out of Swallow Mountain Villa. It had been very long since he had seen his big brother Hong in reality. One of the 108 cities of Jade Dome Planet, Treasury City, within one of its reputable restaurants Morning Star's third-level booth. This was where Luo Feng had scheduled to meet Hong. "Third brother, Treasury City has a story behind it. You should know that Jade Dome Planet is a man-made planet. Back then, this planet had just been sent out of the God Country and into this space. The Gunwu Universe Country thus began a huge-scale immigration. Many huge families were immediately stationed here." Hong sat in his seat, smiling. Once the families were in place, the strong were numerous as the clouds. Naturally the numbers grew more and more. Later on, due to a powerful Undying leaving his inheritance treasury here, it created a huge war amongst Undyings here. Luckily the planet was man-made and the materials used were extravagant. Hence it could withstand the Undying war. However, because of that, over 10,000 kilometers in area was reduced to waste. Later a city was built over that wasteland and named as Treasury City. It also serves as a warning. Luo Feng nodded. Dylan, who was sitting beside Luo Feng, smiled. Jade Dome planet engaged in strict security and governing after the initial chaos and is much more peaceful than before. After being in this city for so long, I've really begun to like it here. Hong shook his head and exclaimed. Ha ha, it's because there's a lady you like here. Luo Feng laughed. Ha. Hong naturally smiled. Big brother, where do you live now? Luo Feng asked. I'm currently following my teacher. As he's currently with an old friend studying together, I'm staying at that friend's place. Hong lifted his wine glass and sipped. Teacher's friend is called Bushka, is quite a strong undying. Luo Feng asked, you and that Ji Qing's matter, does your teacher and that undying Bushka know? How could I hide this from them? Hong shook his head. When my relationship with Ji Qing was discovered by the Ji Sha family, the family immediately sent people to Bushka's family residence. If it weren't for his presence and respect for him, the Ji Sha family may have simply killed me then. Luo Feng's expression changed. He could only imagine the situation. His big brother was in a relationship with Ji Qing, yet he didn't even know about her background. Suddenly one day, her family people rushed down and raged at Bushka's family, ordering Hong to not pester Ji Qing anymore. Whoever faced such a problem would be helpless. The Ji Sha family, in terms of strength, is much stronger than Bushka's family. Hence even Elder Bushka cannot do anything. Hong shook his head. Elder Bushka had once gone to pay a visit to Silver Snow official on my behalf, however that Silver Snow official didn't even go meet him. It made Elder Bushka lose face because of me. Hong's expression was complex. He lifted his glass and finished his wine. Luo Feng nodded as he listened. Bushka? He may be a pretty powerful undying, however the difference in power between undyings could at times be enormous. The Silver Snow official Qian Kang was one of the 300 emperor officials. He became an official a very, very long time ago and was one of the oldest subjects of the Ganwu universe country. Whether it was in terms of strength or power, he could definitely suppress Bushka. And the Silver Snow official, according to Luo Feng's deduction from the information he gathered, was obviously a very arrogant person. Bushka went to visit him, yet he didn't even show up. That was within Luo Feng's expectations. Looks like this official level undying is very angry about this, and very against it. Luo Feng frowned as he pondered. When the official deployment order comes, I'll become one of the highest level of people within the Ganwu department. When that time comes, only then will my words have weight. Big brother, wait a while more. Once my deployment orders come through, I'll pay a visit to that Silver Snow official. Luo Feng said. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.